Hey, I hope all is well with you. I just want to have a little conversation. This is more so like another rant. We're going to be talking about cupping. This, and coffee, okay? I'm not even doing this right. There's procedures and everything that go along with this. I don't think I've cupped coffee. It's been about 7 years ago was the last time, because I was in a coffee roasting type of atmosphere where, there was a group of professionals tasting coffee. And when we're tasting the coffee, the protocol is cupping. I don't know if you heard of it, but what it is that you put coffee in a cup, something like this, more so like porcelain. You put the coffee in the top, and then once you do that, you wait for a couple of minutes, you break the crust, you smell it, you score it, and then you go on your merry-go way. So that's what we're going to actually do right now. And I'll tell you the reasons why I don't really do it or care for it at all. Okay, so let's get going. So usually what you're supposed to do is weigh out 10 grams or something. We're not doing that because I don't cup and I don't know the protocols. I don't know if anything's changed or anything like that. So this is a new Brazilian that I have. Very fruity compared to normal, regular Brazilians. I don't know if I like it that much yet, but it's about a week and a half old. So this is the perfect coffee to cup. Okay, so this is the container right here. It's 190 degrees. I don't know if this vessel is going to break because I don't know if it's tempered. It should be. It looks like a mason jar, right? Oh shit, I fucked up already. Make sure all the grounds are covered and stuff like that. So we'll just put it right there for now. So we're gonna have to wait about 3 or 4 minutes before you break the crust. But I think one of the first things that they usually do is they smell the coffee. Smell it. Get that initial smell of the coffee, okay? And that's what you do. And then you say what you smell. I do smell fruitiness on it. I really do. I mean, from the dry, but again, because you're trying to see what the coffee rating is, to have a scale, SEA and all that good stuff of how you actually gauge or judge a coffee as objectively as you can, not if you like it or not or whatever, just by this protocol. They have aroma, they have taste. Once you break the crust, you do another smell, that's another score. And then you taste it for like bitterness, different elements of it, fruitiness and all that stuff. But again, I bet you're wondering why I don't really do this and how I don't think it's as beneficial to my coffee roasting business or really to you, because I'm sure a lot of times you drink your coffee just like anybody else or everybody else. And when I was actually doing this years ago, I was into it. I was slurping and I was trying to understand the coffee. I didn't really understand how I was supposed to judge or do the coffee. A lot of importers, what they'll have is tasting notes and they'll have a score of that coffee. So that's how I can kind of use a professional in order to gauge what the coffee may taste like. Don't get me wrong, I'll still get a sample here and there, taste the coffee for myself, and then go from there to see if it's actually really good that people want to drink all the time. So let me go ahead and smell it again. It's about 2-3 minutes. I don't know how long we've been on here already, but I think I did it right. You still see that the coffee is kind of theoretically brewing, but not as much because I haven't agitated the grounds as much as I am going to do in the next minute or two. So usually the first smell of the coffee is the most like intoxicating. It's really the best part of this whole circus act or experiment as I look at it to be right now. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to wait a little bit some more. I'm going to go ahead and get some water so I can drink water at the same time so I won't get the purest form of the coffee. Okay, so let's get the water. So the reason why this is a rant is because this is something that the coffee industry does a lot and I don't particularly do. And one of the reasons why I don't really actually do it that much is because I was doing it at first. What really wasn't getting what the coffee supposedly tastes like. And one time my wife caught me. She saw me slurping and smelling and doing all that stuff. She was like, nobody does that shit. And I questioned her. I was like, why are you saying that? This is what we do as professionals. I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. I see, but regular people who drink coffee every day, they don't do that shit. So, okay, I can tell you if a coffee's good or not just by drinking it, I have a palate too. So they got me thinking about this whole notion about like why we do this. And the reason why I believe it's there is for a quick and easy way for a coffee roaster who travels to another country and they're tasting so many different coffees to actually taste as many as they can. I think that's the reason why cupping is what it is. Don't get me wrong, I understand the whole logic of it. The whole logic is tasting coffee for quality, tasting it for what my customers will actually like and everything, right? But in this case, I think it's more so the easiest, quickest way for somebody to really taste the coffee, taste a lot of coffees in a place to where they can really judge it for what it is and then move on, drink some more or slurp it or do all these things that you need to do in order to see if you can really taste the quality. One of the reasons why I really don't do it anymore is because people don't really do that. Normal people don't really do that, you know? I'm not talking to you about cupping because I'm talking to you right now, but you probably only hear me talk about cupping just right now, you know? Is that you don't do it. Do you cup coffee? Tell me if you do. If you do and you're not a coffee professional, tell me why you do it. Does it really help you analyze the coffee for what it is? I know wine people, they do that quite a bit too. I know they have to like do the similar type of scoring in order to see if something's good or not. But I think sometimes the simplest way to see if something's good is actually brew it in a way to where somebody will actually drink it and enjoy it. Oh, let me get one more thing. And this is the reason why I'm coming to, of all these reasons why I think cupping is kind of bullshit. Okay? Said it. Bullshit. So here's my trusty thermometer. This is the one I use for food, of course, but I also use this thermometer for grilling and all that stuff to see if the meat is right and all that good stuff. I rarely do it for coffee. I sometimes do it for coffee if I'm doing an experiment like I'm doing with the Mr. Coffee machine. But let's go ahead. Let's break the crust first. This is the best part about cupping. Smell it. And when we break the crust, we're going to get the temperature. Oh my God. I just smell fruit on it. It's absolutely amazing. I just smell fruit on this stuff. See that grounds at the bottom and everything? Wow, so amazing. So the next thing, as you can see, is there's a lot of foam at the top, and that shit is nasty and it's bitter and all that stuff that you don't want to interfere with your rating of the coffee. So usually if you're really good at this, you do this stuff every day, you go ahead and get two spoons. Not like this. This is a regular eating spoon. They have spoons that are like a lot bigger, deeper, and all that stuff. I don't have one of those because I don't cup. And you scoop out the shit at the top. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna scoop up the stuff at the top so we can taste the coffee for what it is. Again, I don't have two spoons. I'm not an expert at this. And that's what we're doing right now, okay? This is gonna take probably another 20 or 30 seconds because I don't have two spoons. And if you have two spoons, it's a lot faster. Almost there. That's as much as it's going to be. I'm good with that. So let's go ahead and get this temperature in here right now, 73 degrees. My wife likes it really cold. So you see how the temperature is room temp right now? All right, 145, 150, okay? 149. I think that's good enough. You can keep drinking it as you keep going. So, come on, man. I'm doing a video. She does not care about my feelings or video, whatever, okay? You already done the ultimate smell test of all of this. Here we go. We're gonna taste the coffee now, okay? Because this is the time to taste the coffee, not hot. Truthfully, I don't like hot coffee like that anyway, so I can't really bitch about it being too cold. I'm supposed to taste it. What am I tasting? Taste bitterness. Again, I'm probably not doing this right. I'm just telling you what I'm tasting. It's supposed to go back in your tongue, like really deep into your tongue, and let it swirl around, all that good stuff, right? And just enjoy it for what it is, right? Not really enjoy it. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to be enjoying this process. You're really not. You're supposed to be analyzing it, which, you know, if you drink the coffee objectively, you can analyze it from there too, especially the way people normally drink coffee. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do it some more. And that one I felt a little bit more fruitiness. I taste a little bit of apricot. I really do this time. All right, so we're gonna wait another couple of minutes here and there to let this cool down a little bit more, okay? And the reason why I have this device right here, this is a French press. Everybody knows what a French press. You already know how I feel about the French press. It was my first love of coffee. But if you look at the French press and analyze it for really what it is that you have coffee, and then you have grounds. This one even has a little bit of grounds in it. You have water. And usually there's so many different recipes. They all work the same. There's a little variations in taste and all that good stuff. Okay, so you put the water in, or you put the coffee in, and then you put the water in, right? Well, what does that look like what we just did? It looked like a cupping glass, right? That's what it looked like. It looked like a cupping glass. And then you wait 4 minutes. And you plunge the shit down. You probably agitate it a little bit if you want to get a little bit more extraction out of coffee. Don't do it too much. You'll probably extract way too much and it'll become too bitter. So we got to be careful about how much extraction we really want to do out of the French press. Same thing with not the Mr. Coffee. I keep saying Mr. Coffee. Same thing with the, what is this thing called? Cupping bowl or cup or whatever. You can see the sludge at the bottom, right? Usually there's sludge at the bottom of the French press. So they're very similar. So if you like the French press, then you like cupping too. And you plunge down and then you just drink the coffee. I actually prefer drinking coffee from the French press than the cupping protocol because, you know, you're drinking coffee. Even though it does have a lot of sediment in it, it interferes with the clarity of really what you're trying to taste. And I think that's the thing that I don't really like about cupping because a lot of times it gets better when it cools down. But the thing about it is that this is the way probably not majority of people actually drink their coffee. You know, they either use a filter, they probably use other intense methods in order to taste their coffee, either enjoy it or not. Like the mocha pot, that's a very intense way of actually making coffee. I wouldn't say the pour over is, but the way it extracts, you get a lot more flavor out of it. You can really taste the differences, the nuances of the coffee. To this, it's still muddy. It's muddy. It's a muddy cup. Okay, so let's just fuck the spoon. We're just gonna sip it slow, and we're going to just see what we taste. Hollow. It kind of wraps around my tongue. See, I'm not cupping anymore. I'm actually just tasting coffee now. It's high acidity, but it's not too offensive. There's no lemony. There's no grapefruity type of taste. It's kind of just there. And truthfully, I would actually wait till this get to room temp, which will be another 4 or 5 minutes. And I don't want to bore you anymore. It's 130 degrees right now. So this is what the thing about this whole thing is that when you drink this, majority of the people don't drink it this cold. I do. I love when the coffee changes. I don't know if you do, if you actually have experience when coffee does change, like the flavors, the smell even. That's the ride that I really like to go on. And I do like the whole part of actually really tasting it. But let me get back to not me, but you. Do you drink your coffee like that? If you do, that's awesome. You probably like cupping. But majority of the people, they don't really do this. They either just drink it as hot as possible. I know there's a lot of people that's just the way they like to drink their coffee. No matter how much I tell them, slow the fuck down. I really do need to stop cursing. But to slow down, enjoy it, and savor it, that's a grown person, right? They're going to do whatever the hell they want to. They've been doing this the way that they want to. So it's kind of hard to mimic all different ways of people enjoying their coffee. So this is kind of like the way the professionals do it to kind of get an idea of what they're actually going to be selling to people. People are going to be enjoying it. People are going to enjoy drinking it the way they actually roast it, you know? Again, it's a good tool, I think, especially for people who are traveling, who are traveling to foreign lands and trying to really assess the coffee because they're about to spend some money on bags and shipments of coffee. They want to make sure they get it right for their customer. They're probably trying to look for that uniqueness of taste in the coffee, right? So that's where we're at with all of this, right? But okay, let's finish this up right now because this is a little too long. I'll try to cut what I can. It just is what it is, right? But I don't cut because this doesn't really mimic the way the majority of people really enjoy their coffee. The way people really enjoy their coffee is that it's a ritual first. Whatever they use or whatever they do, they go about it in a certain way, right? Either a Mr. Coffee machine, automatic drip machine, pour over, French press, espresso, whatnot. They probably may follow a recipe from somebody or the expert who roasted it. But for the most part, people are going to do their own recipes, their own ways of really figuring it out. So to me, the real purest way is if I understand what that coffee tastes like. And a lot of times what I would use as my cupping protocol is a Hario V60. I already know how it works, what flavors and tastes I'm going to get out of it. And probably more so what a potential customer or a coffee drinker will like in a coffee. Don't get me wrong, I'm not right all the time, just like this cupping protocol isn't foolproof either, you know? Sometimes it does come down to marketing telling you that this is what you're tasting. If you taste it, that's great. If you don't, you're an idiot. Probably not, but you get what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know that these are some of the things that most of other people do in order to really try to understand the coffee for what it is. And it gives them an idea of what they can present to the end user, you. So this is just like not a quick tip. This is actually too long and I need to cut as much as I can. But this is more so like what people do in order to analyze things. And I think my way of doing it, it works for me. And that's the beauty of all this, really, because we go through things in life and we've done a lot of things in life to where we follow the rules, we follow procedures. Sometimes we may understand the procedures, sometimes we may not, you know, but I think the beauty of the way I interpret coffee is different. And just like the way you may interpret coffee when you drink it regularly, it's different. And that's the beauty of it. So it's getting better, but I still don't really know what it tastes like in this type of thing. So I hope you enjoy this or learn from something from it. If you have any comments, anything that you're thinking about, let me know. But I think that's what I got for you. This is a rant about cupping. So talk to you later. Hope you got some value. Bye.